Prime Minister launched foundation policy yesterday. Kapavore reaffirms government support. And victims of Mulitaka landslide raise concerns. A very good evening. This is National MTV News. I'm Natasha Voy. Thank you for joining us. In Papua New Guinea's quest for economic self-reliance and sustenance since independence, the government has launched the Special Economic Zones Foundation Policy 2025 to 2032. The launch ceremony was held at the APEC House in Port Moresby last night.
The new policy is aimed at diversifying Papua New Guinea's economy, unlocking the full potential of downstream manufacturing, fisheries, forestry, large-scale agriculture, tourism, and other non-attractive industries. The policy will also guide the country away from being over-reliant on mining and petroleum and export of raw materials. This is an initiative led by Minister for International Trade and Investment and Yangon Sausia District Member Richard Maru. During the launch, Chairman for Special Economic Zone Authority, Dr. Lawrence Sause emphasized on the policy.
But the reason why we have SEJ is that we look at the long term. We want sustainable investment in this country that moves away from the extractive sector. So people can come into this country and people can invest. And those investments are for the long term and they're sustainable into the long term that would sustain our economy.
Prime Minister James Marape, in his keynote address, said the policy is the incubation for economic growth.
Forestry, fishery, agriculture is the lowest hanging fruit for our special economic zones. And all the others, petrochemical industry and the mining space, including downstream processing of mining products, as things that we can work on to make the intention of SEJs become the incubation of economic growth, employment growth, and expansion of diversification of economy come to pass.
Minister Maru gave his assurance to the country that this is a game changer for PNG to transform its economy from being a net exporter of raw materials to a net exporter of value-added PNG-made products to the world.
It's a game changer for our country. This, to me, is our most important policy. If we support it and attend to the issues that are preventing us from taking off, like I said, power and land. If we move faster, we will have hundreds of SEZs, and this country is going to take off on the back of this.
Pakatambua, National MTV News.
Meanwhile, the Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru, reiterated on the importance of PNG manufacturing its own tuna. While highlighting the importance of PNG's recently launched SEZ Foundation Policy for 2025 to 2032, Minister Maru alluded to the sad narrative for the country in the fisheries sector.
One of our saddest stories in the fisheries sector. We import more canned fish than we export. We import our own fish that goes out, we import it back. And the funny thing is, ADI cannot produce enough fish to feed us. We are forced to go and export.
He noted his anticipation for the opening of a new cannery in Madang, of which the government will hold a 50% stake in.
In the coming month, the Marape government will launch the second cannery, which we will own 50%. Just to produce enough canned fish so we don't import anymore.
Minister Maru elaborated on his excitement for the development.
If we build 10 canneries in Madang within the economic zone on what used to be called PMIZ, it means we can process all the fish caught in PNG waters in PNG. We will employ 100,000 new Papua New Guineans. We will be a major canned fish exporter to the world, no more imports.
In April and May this year, circulating polio virus was again detected in environmental samples and healthy children in Lae and Port Moresby. Health Minister Elias Kapavore said the government is committed to protecting every child in Papua New Guinea from polio.
Considering the polio emergency outbreak recently, Health Minister Elias Kapavore said this vaccination campaign is a vital part of our national emergency response. He called on all health workers, provincial health authorities, community leaders and families to join forces and ensure that no child is left behind. Minister Kapavore said together we can stop this outbreak and safeguard the health of our nation's children. He added that the arrival of the vaccines marks the next phase in PNG's emergency response to the outbreak. The government of Papua New Guinea, with support from UNICEF, World Health Organization, the Australian government and other partners, are now working to strengthen surveillance. The campaign will prepare for 2 rounds of nationwide polio vaccination and engage communities across the country to ensure every child is protected. Nicole Rama, National MTV News.
Victims of the tragic Mulitaka landslide that claimed hundreds of innocent lives in Enga province on the 24th of May last year have raised concerns regarding the Mulitaka Resettlement Authority.
Community spokesperson Lasan Lakari said the victims who had been affected by the landslide last year gave hectares of land to the government to resettle the affected victims.
So as you play can look in this line, new by for road stop, go down no same okay, backside to this line, go down no Kerala, Mulitaka 16. Okay, go upside, and me go down no same for band. From eastern end to western end, 1+6 kilometer. This land big fly, hectare of land, we fly. Give him call on government finish. That's all. Me fly, Kisimanola feedback yet.
Mr. Lakari said since last year, the 26,000 population of Maip Mulitaka local level government have waited to receive feedback from the authorities.
Belong Maip Mulitaka LLG, in cutting 26,000 population. So in this township. Na resettlement bakam lo 1 time straight. At least if I can put him lo media or can make him talk sabelo.
He called on the government and responsible authorities to address the issue before the year ends.
So this appeal or request me put it through long. Honorable MP from Mibla and Governor of Enka Province, Francis Sepira Ibras, Honorable Member of Taripori, at the same time, Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, James Marape, okay, na Narpla, Honorable Member, na Minister of Local Level Affairs, Mr. Sori, Ewe, or some display consent from
However, during the recent Parliament sitting, Minister for Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs, Soroy AOS, said there had been delays in the program as no board has been appointed for the Resettlement Authority as yet. Mr. AOS said his department is working towards establishing a board for the authority to carry out its functions. The Mulitaka Restoration Authority was established in November to coordinate recovery efforts, including resettlement, rebuilding infrastructure, and restoring essential services. Jacinta Doctor, National MTV News.
Governor for Oro Province, Gary Jufa, is adamant on investing in community engagement initiatives that focus on assisting women and youths in the communities.
Governor Jufa, who was speaking at the launch of the Voice of Truth Rehabilitation Center, he assured the members of the ministry of his interest in enhancing their project.
And we're on standby to assist where we can, and I will wait for Patricia to return and inform me of how it is that we can assist you, with what you are doing. We feel that any such efforts.
Mr. Jufa revealed that he has a similar interest in carrying out such important initiatives in his province.
It's actually 80% complete. The building is complete, but we have yet to build a new fence around it and a couple of classrooms, and that resource center is dedicated just to our women folk. So that's where our Women's Council will be based.
He pointed out where they can collaborate to invite donor agencies.
These are places where we feel we can interact with national agencies, development partners, so that we can help train our youth, help train our women, and also I must mention our people living with disabilities, another group of people that are very much forgotten, unfortunately, but I'm happy to say that more and more is being done to, have them included in what we're doing. They're a vital asset that we tend to ignore.
Governor Juffa acknowledged churches and NGOs that continue to reach communities where government cannot go.
There is, NGOs, churches, they fill in the gaps, and development partners, I must say, they fill in the gaps where government cannot be, So if you go to many parts of Papua New Guinea, there are some very remote areas where there are no health services or there are no education services. It's the church that's there. It's usually an NGO that's operating and doing, its bit to help the people.
Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
The founder and national overseer of the TVOT ministry, Jeremiah Rao, shared how they started from just a small group gathering at his residence at ATS in Port Moresby.
Mr. Rao explained he never thought of having such a ministry.
Yes, well, it all started out of 5 young people. My son, who is the eldest now, from the picture that you saw, went and met those 5 young people on the road. And by his influence, he brought them up to the house. That's how this thing started, from 5 young people. I never know, and I never believed, and I never dreamed, and I've never asked God, one day this ministry will come out like this. Not in my prayer, not in my request, no nothing.
Mr. Rao outlined the challenges in helping the youths.
Trying to confine them and contain them is a struggle. That's the kind of demand, that's the kind of need that's there. Sometimes we look at from the angle. We don't actually go close to see them and ask them, what's your problem? You ask them properly, and you will get a quick, straightforward answer from these youths.
The Voice of Truth ministry centers across Papua New Guinea include Port Moresby, Kimbe, Popondetta, Central, and Morobe.
We want to identify those issues, and we want to come on board to help demarcate and remove those issues, help with that. So that's from ATS. And then from ATS in 2019, another opportunity for us to extend it to Baroni, the village, the most notorious. And I tell you, when this opportunity came, let me say this honestly, I tell God that I will never go down to Baroni. I was afraid. I know what Baroni is like. But there are some good people who are around us with me who gave me the confidence to come.
Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chicken kebab saja na. Yum.
Beef stiff, right?
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you,
Yum.
stir fry for you, and chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, 1 cube at a time.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is
From the mountains to the seas to global markets, the National Fisheries Authority proudly celebrates 50 years of growth. We're advancing tuna domestication, aquaculture, coastal fisheries, and sustainable fisheries management. Through stakeholder consultations, policy reforms, and stronger surveillance, we're protecting PNG's marine wealth and shaping a sustainable future. National Fisheries Authority, sustaining our future, empowering our nation.
Digital economy is something that no country is going to run away with, and I think the government is embracing that.
Join us tonight at 7 as we feature the DATEC Technology and Innovation Summit 2025.
The use of modular data centers and edge computing environment.
That takes various shapes and forms. One is to have a bulletproof technology platform.
Hybrid cloud is where the market's heading in Papua New Guinea.
That's on tonight.
You're watching National MTV News. Joint consultations on the outcome of the 2019 Bougainville referendum took place in New Zealand. From the 6th to the 15th of June 2025, representative of the autonomous Bougainville government and the national government of Papua New Guinea met at the historically significant Burnham military camp in Christchurch. Convened by the independent moderator Sir Jerry Mateparai, the consultation was opened by Prime Minister James Marape and the ABG President Ismail Toroama, signalling the importance of this at a critical moment in the Bougainville peace process. Over 5 days of deliberation at the military base, the parties discussed their shared values and commitments, concluding on core elements of the proposed future political relationship and how to work with Parliament for taking the agreement forward, including the integral role to be played by the Bipartisan Parliamentary Committee on Bougainville. Talks concluded with the endorsement of a proposed Melanesian relationship agreement that will be taken to the leaders of PNG and ABG during the last week of this month, June. The parties and the independent moderator expressed deep appreciation for the support of the government and the people of Aotearoa, New Zealand and the United Nations. Simbu Election Manager Tom Siunes said Chimbu Province is ready for the 2025 local level government elections. The nominated candidates are out for 11 weeks campaign. Simbu has 20 local level governments and 317 wards. With the recent proclamation of 34 new ward areas, the province now notes a total of 351 total wards.
Chimbu is ready for the LG election 2025. We just completed the nominations for the interested candidates. They came forward to nominate, and they are now out on 11 weeks campaign, and polling is set for 12th July.
However, funding issues pose potential risk for the elections.
Funding is a serious problem for elections, for the LG election 2025. The national government is not able to fund us fully. From a recent workshop last week, national workshop, conducted by PNG Electoral Commission, where all the election managers and assistant election managers attended in Port Moresby, we were told to engage 2 mobile polling teams for 1 LSG. That in practical, it's not that easy.
He now makes a call for the provincial government to support by ensuring the delivery of this national exercise.
These are some of the difficult places. Simbu is mountainous. Therefore, the 2 mobile teams that the senior management team has proposed is just going to cause too much problem for me. And therefore I'm appealing to the provincial government and local DDAs, the local MPs with its DDAs to come forward and assist us.
With approximately 2 months to go before the country's Golden Jubilee commemoration, member for Alotau District has revealed plans are underway for celebrations in his electorate.
7 local-level governments make up Alotau Open electorate. Member for Alotau Open, Ricky Morris, highlighted his plans for the celebrations.
We have selected 7 local-level government headquarters to host our major independent celebrations, but at the same time we have identified 9 other locations within the district, within the zones, to also participate in this independence celebration.
The details of the launching and unveiling of the monuments will be announced soon.
Key for the independence is our monument that we want to build back in Alotau, in the heart of the town. The 2 figures that we want to put up, late Sir Michael Thomas Somare, our Grand Chief and first Prime Minister, and of course, let's say John Guys, as well, was the first Governor General of the country.
Due to the current LLG elections, Mr. Morris said an independent working committee will be set up in the LLGs to take lead of the event.
Because the councils and presidents are into elections, we've identified prominent people in the community to take lead as independence committee members.
In addition, Mr. Morris said that plans are underway for the split of the district come 2027 national general elections, and the proclamation will be made on the country's 50th independence celebrations in Alotau. Amanda Elaitia, National EMTV News.
And as the country looks forward to celebrating the 50th anniversary, Commander for Northern Command, Assistant Commissioner of Police Peter Guinness, recently celebrated 50 years of service with the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary.
ACP Guinness was posted to Mount Again after graduating from the Bomana Police College. He served in the general duties for 5 years, then he was transferred to Goroka to serve for 5 years. ACP Guinness received his first promotion as first constable in Goroka and then later moved into Ley. Mr. Guinness was then promoted to senior constable. While serving in Port Moresby, he served as commander of Tactical Response Unit, which he served for more than 2 years. Later, he moved to serve as the officer in charge for Criminal Investigation Division in the National Capital District. Mr. Guinness went on to pursue his bachelor's degree in public policy management when he was serving as the acting director of crimes and was able to graduate before leaving for Ley. Sharing his perspective prior to and after the independence, Mr. Guinness said the RPNGC operations have been deteriorating. He never thought of being in the rank of an assistant commissioner, but his commitment has led him up the rank. 50 years of serving the police force means hundreds of encounters, experiences and achievements for ACP Guinness. Mr. Guinness said he encountered difficulties but kept to the heart to serve and protect the communities. Mr. Guinness acknowledged the constabulary for giving him all the recognitions and promotions and to where he is today. Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
Secretary for Department of Foreign Affairs, Elias Woyengu, calls on Papua New Guinea to stand in prayer for PNG diplomats and citizens who are in Israel. As the conflict between Israel and Iran deepens with missile strikes, PNG contingents are hunkered in bunkers.
The Secretary for the Department of Foreign Affairs, Elias Woyengu, said in a statement that PNG citizens are hiding in bunkers across the state of Israel following Israel's large-scale attack on the Islamic Republic of Iran. In the early hours of Friday, 13 June 2025, Israel launched large-scale military attacks against multiple targets across Iran to eliminate Iranian nuclear threat in what Israel calls an existential threat by the regime that has for decades called for the total annihilation of the State of Israel. As the situation escalates, the government of Israel has directed its citizens to minimize travel, stay next to protected space, and to remain indoor for their safety. All diplomatic personnel stationed in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, including PNG diplomats at the Papua New Guinea Embassy in Jerusalem, has been advised to remain in secure bunkers for the duration of the hostilities. Mr. Wongu has confirmed that he is in active communication with the PNG ambassador in Jerusalem, Henry Mokono, and other PNG diplomats to ensure their safety and that of their dependents and citizens currently in Israel. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
The Body of Christ will be hosting a 5-day miracle crusade at the John Guy's Outdoor Stadium as part of the events leading up to the 50th celebrations in September. The crusade will commence on Wednesday.
As churches have a special role in nation building and reflecting on how the churches can contribute to PNG's future, the churches in Papua New Guinea have united to start the Jubilee celebrations this Wednesday with a miracle crusade. Invited to the crusade are Chris Mickelson Evangelistic Ministries from America and Timor Ministry from Australia. In the press conference today, evangelist and pastor from Timor Ministry shared his joy in coming to celebrate the Jubilee in the crusade.
I believe that God, by the power of the Holy Spirit, is going to reach out and do something greater than we could expect. If you're not well, if you're sick, as Pastor Joseph said, by your Come Long Display meetings, God is here to meet you. Yes. The power of God is going to meet you. The healing power of God will be manifest. The delivering power is going to be manifest. And we are going to see an outpouring of the Spirit of God that I believe is going to touch every part of the nation.
Pastor for Chris Mickelson Evangelistic Ministries said he believes this independence celebration is for the people and what God did for them.
But I believe it's an independence celebration for you, that God wants to deliver. He wants to set free. He wants to bless you. He wants to touch you. If you have sickness in your body, come. If you know people that need a touch from God, come to the National Stadium on Wednesday night. Come on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and experience the presence and power of God.
Chairman for Body of Christ, Reverend Joseph Walters, highlighted that the event will not only be in Port Moresby, but throughout PNG, churches will continue their celebrations Wednesday.
The passion and the fire for gospel preaching accompanying signs and wonders. So whilst we're having in Port Moresby simultaneously around the nations, there are also crusades and conventions going on.
Nicole Rema, National EMTV News.
The Seventh-day Adventist lay professionals, in collaboration with the Adventist Papua New Guinea Union Mission and Western Highlands Mission, have launched the Southern Highlands Province Adventist College at the Papera village in Lower Mendi recently.
The ceremony marked the beginning of a major tertiary educational institution development, which will see courses such as theology, diploma in teaching, agriculture, and architecture to be offered. Project initiator Elder Joseph Wandi said the project is a faith-based project. Mr. Wandi said he is committed to work together with the SDA mission to make the project a success. Considering the increase in lawlessness and tribal fights, Mr. Wandi said the aim of the project is to get young people into theology education to be better citizens in the future. Pastor Malakiani said the college will not only serve the Southern Highlands province, but it will serve the country.
Investment, human development, human capital development, and don't come and tell me about what you will eat.
The project is estimated to cost around 70 million kina, with work currently under progress. Jacinta Doctor, National MTV News.
And now we take a look at the NASFAN market report. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2432 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2357 US, $0.3605 Australian dollars, 0.1962 euro, and 33.71 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed lower, copra closed lower, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower. The ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Goodpilla mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Goodpilla data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Tell him shorty come get it in. Come grind on me, but met it in. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring that groove down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring that groove down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi, Pepsi, you like him? Pepsi, you like him? Pepsi,
I'm Martha, and each week on Kai Time, we'll introduce you to local food businesses showcasing their delicious dishes. Plus, you will discover how to make tasty and affordable meals using ingredients from your local markets. Tune in to Kai Time every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, MTV.
You're watching National MTV News. And now moving to overseas news. Recent attacks have been launched by both Israel and Iran as the hostilities intensify between the two countries.
A barrage of projectiles were launched towards the northern Israeli city of Haifa overnight. Paramedics rushed to the scene where several buildings were hit and cars left burning in the streets. It happened moments after Iran's armed forces had told residents to leave vital areas for their safety. Iran's president has warned his country will respond to any further Israeli aggression.
We are by no means seeking to expand the war. But naturally, as our army, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, and our dear people have shown, appropriate responses have been given so far. The more they try to escalate, naturally, the responses will become tougher and more severe. More innocent people may lose their lives.
Israel says it carried out a wave of strikes against Iran's weapons production capabilities. The Israeli military has released footage it says shows a strike in Tehran. Iran's Tasnim news agency has confirmed the intelligence chief of the Revolutionary Guard and his deputy have been killed. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the operation is ongoing.
Our wonderful pilots are above Tehran. Tehran is burning. But we are aiming not at civilians, even though we told them to evacuate. And they are evacuating. Massive evacuation. It's happening now. You don't hear of it because the Iranians are hiding it. But this is what is happening. But they, in contrast, they attack and bomb our civilians. We, of course, operate differently.
The Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has briefly met with Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney at the G7 Leaders Summit in Canada.
Security, trade and rising tensions in the Middle East are expected to dominate the three-day event. Anthony Albanese will also meet with the US President Donald Trump in their first face-to-face meeting. It comes just days after the Trump administration announced a review of the AUKUS agreement to provide nuclear-powered submarines to Australia. Mr Albanese has told Mr Carney there's plenty that can be done to strengthen the Australian-Canadian alliance.
I look forward to strengthening our defence relationship. I think it's quite exciting, our over-the-horizon development that we've been able to develop in Australia, but also there's a range of areas in which we can cooperate. I know critical minerals will be a discussion over the coming days, but also we share personal relations as well with Australian firefighters are here, just like Canadian firefighters who I've met in Australia have performed such a vital role because our seasons are different. We know that climate change is meaning that those seasons are growing, unfortunately, but we have cooperated in a way that is seamless as well, and you can always rely upon Australia. I know that our Australian firefighters are really proud of the effort that they've been able to make, including during the wildfires which you are experiencing.
Engineers and experts are warning that flood maps around Australia do not reflect the true risk posed by global warming.
The latest that we do have is that the Australian rainfall and runoff guidelines have now predicted that we could see some of that intense, widespread rainfall that's been happening right around the country continue to get worse under climate change. Now, that's because when the atmosphere is warmer, the atmosphere can then hold more water and moisture, and that then in turn leads to more rainfall as well, specifically sporadic rain. Here in Brisbane, whenever we get significant rainfall, that leads to intense flash flooding, largely due to overloading of the stormwater drain system. And last year in December, there were back-to-back rain events where we saw more than 250 millimetres of rainfall within a 24-hour period right across this region. That led to several businesses that ended up having to shut down for several weeks due to the damage. Some of those businesses still have yet to open up their doors. Now, engineers are saying that if the transition to renewable energy is slow, we could see some of these storms, not just here in Brisbane, but also in Sydney and Melbourne, start to increase in intensity by 50 to 60% over the next few years. And the reason why this is so concerning is because flooding and flood maps, which are what local councils use to sort of indicate those flood zones, can also often impact sort of of the value of your home and even increase your insurance premiums. And that could really become a reality right across the country under these new guidelines and the latest advice. So experts are asking for and urging for people that plan cities and towns to sort of start to future-proof them by ensuring that they've got storm resilience and flood resilience front and centre. But certainly this new information is serving as sort of a grim warning across the country.
National MTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Accept the challenge. Choose PNG's favorite purified bottled water. True Wara, 100% PNG made.
Proudly bottled by Paradise Foods.
As PNG's only ISO-accredited bulk haulage operator, IPI Transport guarantees the delivery of your critical cargo. Equipped with state-of-the-art GPS tracking systems and backed by an experienced team, you can rely on IPI Transport, part of the IPI group of companies.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Hilton Port Moresby Hotel and Residence. Hilton Port Moresby Hotel and Residence. Your stay, your house, your home.
Join us for MTV's Vocal Fusion Season 12.
The grinding, you want to be really part of the show, and hey, this is your year.
This time, our Final Cuts 2 contestants face off in the series for 6 remaining spots to make up the top 12.
Situation you've got, can I borrow it? Because it's hot.
This Sunday at 7:30 p.m. MTV's Vocal Fusion Season 12. Only on your number one to watch, MTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. More than 100 kickboxers took part in the NCD Kickboxing Trial in preparations for the national championships.
Assisting the event was the PNG Kickboxing Federation President Stanley Nandex, who gave his comments on the trials.
Almost 140 fighters, both male and female, aged from 8 years and over. So I think it's really great to see a lot of interest picked up from since they have started the clubs within the suburbs. And this is the first trial championship, so it's interesting to be here to see them fighting for this tournament.
President Nandex further elaborated on the importance and development of the code.
Especially for our development program, I think this is very important for our organization, and also to see first event for National Capital District Kickboxing Association to sanction this event. We'll be right behind in terms of how we can able to support development. A lot of the talents are there in the settlements and areas, so that's why it's important that we need to reach out to those places so really can identify talents within those settlements. And I think it's also a good initiative which could be good for cross-cutting issues in terms of addressing some of those issues like drug issues and marijuana problems and law and order issues. And I think it's good that NCD have been also been very much supportive to take this initiative forward. So we are grateful to see that partnership working.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
The NCD Touch Footy competition is in full swing, with 18 teams competing in a vibrant and growing tournament in Port Moresby.
The event has seen an impressive turnout, reflecting the sport's rising popularity in the capital. Organisers are now eyeing expansion, with plans underway to introduce a Masters division to cater to veteran players. The development highlights the inclusion spirit of the competition, encouraging participation across all age groups.
The teams have their own sponsors, so we've got about 18 teams, and we're going to open up for the Masters divisions. We were anticipating having an opening last week, but due to some misunderstanding, because there was some invitation, there was some discussion happening between the Prime Minister's sports team and in launching a game for the Masters division for the people that are above 40 and above.
With strong community support and growing interest, NCD Touch Footy is also setting its sight on the national championship later this year, aiming to make a strong showing on the national stage.
We've already appointed team managers and team coaches. So the team managers will be responsible for getting the teams organized administratively, and the coaches will be looking at getting the players picked, selected, and the final list of players will be a collaborative effort between the selection committee plus the coach.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
The SBPNG Hunters have officially announced the return of Judah Rimbo to the club for the remainder of the 2025 Host Plus Cup season.
Judah Rimbo, last year's recipient of the 2024 QRL Petero 7/7 medal for being the competition's best and fairest, has returned to Papua New Guinea after a brief stint with the English Super League side Castleford Tigers. The club released him as part of a mid-season roster reshuffle. SBPNG Hunters head coach Paul Aiten reportedly expressed his delight at Rimbo's return, saying he was happy to have the utility back for the rest of the season. Aiten noted that Rimbo brings energy to the club and will certainly make a strong impact. Rimbo, reflecting on his time in the UK, admitted things didn't go as planned but said he was determined to work hard and help the team build on last year's success. SB Hunters CEO Scott Baker also welcomed him back, describing Rimbo as not only a quality player but also a good person. Baker said the club was happy to support his continued development, adding that the young playmaker still had much more to give. Rimbo is expected to rejoin the team as the Hunters prepares for the second half of the 2025 Host Plus Cup season. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Chicken kebab for dinner. Yum.
Beef stir fry.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you.
Yum.
Stir fry for you. And chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, one cube at a time.
From the mountains to the seas to global markets, the National Fisheries Authority proudly celebrates 50 years of growth. We're advancing tuna domestication, aquaculture, coastal fisheries, and sustainable fisheries management. Through stakeholder consultations, policy reforms, and stronger surveillance, we're protecting PNG's marine wealth and shaping a sustainable future. National Fisheries Authority, sustaining our future, empowering our nation.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Digital economy is something that no country is going to run away with, and I think the government is embracing that.
Join us tonight at 7 as we feature the DATEC Technology and Innovation Summit 2025.
The use of modular data centers and edge computing environment.
That takes various shapes and forms. One is to have a bulletproof technology platform.
Hybrid cloud is where the market's heading in Papua New Guinea.
That's on tonight.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
You're watching Trukai Sports. The inaugural Pacific Oz Sports Cricket Invitational Competition is currently underway at the Harmony Park in Port Moresby.
The inaugural Pacific Oz Sports Cricket Invitational was officially launched yesterday at the Harmony Park in Port Moresby. The competition saw a team from Australia, Vanuatu and Samoa. Cricket PNG Chairman and Tournament Director Michael Harrison gave an update on the competition and also emphasized the role of sports in fostering unity and regional cooperation with the promotion of women in sports.
We thank the Australian Government as initiative through Pacific Oz Sports, who came up with this idea to obviously help the Pacific teams who don't quite get as much practice in international games. And it was all part of the 50th anniversary of Papua New Guinea and the celebration of sport. This was put on. And it's the first time the Australian Indigenous side's ever left the shores of Australia, the women's side. So it's great to have them here, as well as Samoa and Vanuatu. And it's a great lead up as well. We've got the World Cup qualifier in Fiji in September, and it's great to get some international games before we go down there in September.
Harrison further stressed on the competition and also highlighted the major events.
After this tournament, we have the Men's World League 2 to be held in August in Jersey. We're preparing the team now for that to get ready for it. Followed by September, the Laywers are off to obviously Fiji, as I mentioned before. And then straight after that in October, we have the Men's T20 World Cup qualifier in Oman. 9 teams, 3 go through, and we're ranked in our pool with Oman and Samoa. So we're looking forward to those 3 competitions coming up, yeah.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
This is semi-professional football competition. Premier Soccer League is said to be competitive following the narrow scoreline recorded in the opening matches in both Port Moresby and Lae.
In the Premier League played in Port Moresby Strikers beat Blue Cumuls 6-0 in the opener match, while Ley City FC beat Ley City Dwellers in a narrow 3-2 win. Star Mountain FC from Tabubil in Western Province and Admiralty Islands FC fought a 2-2 draw in an evenly contested match at the PNG Football Stadium. The second match of the 2025 Premier Soccer League season, hosted at the PNG FA Academy in Ley Morobe Province, saw the home side Morobe Wawens defeated the newcomers Kula FC 2-1. This weekend, PNG Football Association is set to host the round 2 of the season. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Join me every Thursday night as Sports Scene brings to you all the local and international sporting updates. Revisiting our legendary athletes,
Hi, this is David Mead.
highlighting our local sports developments across the nation,
All eyes are on top of them.
Now an NRL team based here.
To create a pathway.
and our talented rising stars.
Hi, my name is Gemma Schnobel and you're watching
all the younger ones will follow.
Sports Scene, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. only on your number one to watch, MTV.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You be holy, man, no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And now looking at the weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, cloudy with some afternoon and evening showers and possible thunderstorms. Popondetta, mostly fine. In the Momase region, Ley City, fine, then becoming cloudy tonight with chances of few showers. And Vanimo, afternoon to evening rain showers with possible thunderstorm. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm tonight, and Buka, mostly fine. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, partly cloudy with few showers, and Mendi, Tari and Wabek, cloudy period with rain and possible thunderstorm.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 16th of June 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.
Coming up next, 7 p.m. in Focus, 7:30 p.m. Border Security, 8 p.m. Talk Vision News.